doing push-ups. I've been doing sit-ups. I've been doing chin-ups. I've been doing pull-ups. I threw up once, but I'm okay now.
Welcome into the Ysn Power Hour. DJ Yoakley, Richie Giuliano with you here on this Wednesday. No Scotty. Scotty bailed.
He bailed on us.
He took his win from Ty Bartell on and right out the door. He and Super Dave loaded it up, took off, said, I don't want anything to do with you two. I don't even know. Turds. That's good enough. I was going to go a different route, but we'll go with turds. Probably the better of what I was thinking. A big Wednesday. We got Coach Dempster that's coming up for Coach's Corner, the East Palestine new head football coach for the Bulldogs. A lot of good stuff from that one. Sitting down talking to him. We talked to him when he got hired. And obviously, when you get hired for a new job, you're drinking out of a fire hose. I mean, it is just so much information you're trying to download. He's had a chance to process it. He's had a chance to talk to his troops. And naturally, he'll give us kind of a state of the union of East Palestine football here. And he'll be doing that on a weekly basis, stopping down on Thursdays right after their practices. And we'll have him on. So like many other coaches, we had Coach Cusick on yesterday. We got Coach Dempster working on getting my man, Coach Yeagley on, which is my favorite to sit down. Those are extended. I mean, those could go on for hours, the way that we talk about South Range and naturally just how he is as a human being. But all that and more, we've got lined up. Anthony had 3 volleyball coaches today. So we're putting a dent in it. But we're never, ever going to be where we want to be. We have some good news coming up tomorrow. We'll break that news, but we'll give you a little bit of hint about, I don't know. What do you think, Rich? You think there's any more room on that wall? Got some room on that wall. 4 more spots. 4 more spots or so on that wall. We'll talk to you about that tomorrow. And, of course, still a lot to talk about on this show. But first, as we do each and every day, we are going to go to On This Day in Sports History. Let's roll it. All right, so on this date, August 10th, 1983, first World Championships in athletics, Carl Lewis wins gold in the men's long jump. However, we're going to take a left-hand turn on this one because you didn't know until Monday that Carl Lewis, while he's famous for being an Olympic athlete and a superstar, he's even more notorious for his rendition of the Star-Spangled Banner.
I'll get the best part. We'll hit the best part because the whole thing is too long.
And the rockets,
Uh-oh.
through the night that a flag was still there.
Outside of that, he's actually
He's good. I'll make up. See, that's the problem. That's the big problem. Whenever you go, like you draw attention to it, you're in trouble.
At least he didn't restart because he could have restarted.
Okay, so with all that, you've had 24, 48, 72 hours to process that in American history. What is the true etiquette at a game or an event when that takes a hard left turn? Like, they're going and listen, I could never do it. I know the words. I feel like I would blank once I got there. With all those people silent, naturally paying homage to the flag in our country. But what's the proper etiquette if you're in the stands? Because you heard those guys and gals booed.
Boo.
I mean, that's one way to do it. Is it start singing along?
I think so. I think that's like, especially when the mic sometimes cuts out.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like the singer, when you're in an arena like that, there's so much you could do. Right, without a mic, you're toast. So I mean, you rely on the crowd to get you through it, and hopefully that mic cuts back in at some point. But I feel like that's the proper etiquette. Like if you're booing somebody, it's really going to go downhill quickly.
Yeah.
And I think it might be worse to awkwardly sit there in silence while they mess up than actually like boo.
It's one of those things, and it's not a jerk move. It's more of it's just human nature. Like you snicker or you giggle or whatever.
Yeah,
like it's one of like if somebody did that, and I've only been around it once, I just started kind of giggling. Like I did the, oh my gosh, is this happening?
Yeah. Because like everybody has seen it before, but until you actually see it happen live in person, like at an event, then you like just don't know what to do.
You feel bad.
You feel horrible.
Yeah. But there's nobody's ever come out and said, okay, this is the proper etiquette. If somebody absolutely butchers the national anthem,
and it's happened,
what do you do?
I think the crowd has to take over.
I love when the crowd takes over.
That happened in Boston.
Yeah.
After the bombings, and I don't know if they cut that guy's mic out on purpose or like for like a verse or two, a cut out in the whole arena.
They do it at the Pittsburgh Penguin games all the time.
Do they?
So they'll start it and then the crowd will finish it.
Yeah.
And there's something powerful about 20,000 people singing the same song. I mean, you see it at concerts all the time, but it's different when it is the national anthem. It's so powerful when it's some guy writing a poem about bombs bursting in air, and then through the night comes that American flag.
Yeah.
I mean, if you really break it down, it is one of the best songs.
It's awesome.
It's so cool. So we saw Carl Lewis. We actually made the joke about it the other day, and it was perfect timing. So if you're at a game and something goes down, help them out. I guess that's the overall speech here, is help them out. Just start singing it. And if you don't know the words, look it up.
I mean, my question is, how did Carl Lewis get that gig in the first place? Because he wasn't a singer, was he? I thought he was like an actor.
But again, no. Carl Lewis?
Yeah, after he retired, he was like an actor.
Was he really?
Yeah, he appeared like in a couple
Miami Vice.
Films. Maybe.
I don't know. But again, he wasn't bad.
No, he wasn't
but
bad.
He didn't know.
He just didn't know.
He didn't know the top of his strike zone, man. And around regular.
I love it. They had to when he's like finishing it out. He doesn't say like,
I'm gonna make up for it now.
Pitch. He just goes right through it.
Yeah, because it was
in the home of the brave.
Yeah, what's the high note?
And of the free.
Say does that stars make bad? Yeah, and he hits it low, so that way he just had. So he just like, and everybody, and he started booing him again because he wouldn't go back up.
Go back up.
Interesting stuff.
The Rockets. Regular.
Oh boy. Like if you do the oh boy,
you can't draw attention to it because some people might just be like giggle and that's it. But once you say that,
when you go
like,
oh boy, when you just, I mean, you're throwing stars, asterisks, parentheses, anything you can. It's a neon light for I just blanked up.
Yep.
Oh boy. All right, we have
That's gonna be my new call when anything goes south on a broadcast.
Well, that's the Scott Rourke call.
Oh yeah,
from a few years ago when they were throwing it home, and the kid threw it from, I think it was right field, and he just airmailed it, and it was halfway up the fence at scene one, and Scott Rourke goes, "Uh-oh." Oh, legendary. Another legend. We're going to get to it right now. The man, the myth, the legend, Michael Dempster, sitting down with us here this morning, talking some Bulldog football. So let's get to that and hear what he has to say about the 2022 East Palestine Bulldogs. And welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. It's the first installment under the tutelage of Michael Dempster of the Coach's Corner for the East Palestine Bulldogs. He joins us right now with good news. It sounds like the Bulldogs, things are kind of moving back into place in East Palestine.
That's the goal. That is the goal. We have numbers up. Kids are practicing hard. Community has been super supportive and behind us all the way. So, that's the foundation that we're trying to establish right now.
So, you took over, it feels like just yesterday. What's it been like? It's been a whirlwind, right? Yeah.
It's been fast. Fortunately for me, again, this is my, the second go around, and the first time I was hired as well. My first job was a late hire too. So I've been in this situation before, and the second time around, it's kind of helped me realize what I have to prioritize and what our focus needs to be on early. And, like I said, I like where we're at right now. I like where we're at.
What have been some of the obstacles that obviously from being a late hire you've had to face from your perspective, from a coaching perspective, coaching staff, recruiting? What is it?
The hardest part for me was I'm very particular about what we need.
Gotcha.
So getting us up to par from a technological standpoint, getting technology into the program so it's easier to distribute information, video, etc. Was our number one priority. Getting our junior high kids new uniforms that just came in yesterday. They look really sharp. So our junior high will have brand new uniforms when they take the field this year. And then really recruiting, getting these numbers up, trying to get kids out. And, over the course of the last month, we've had, 5-6 new kids join. So we're sitting just under 30, which is where we wanted to be, right around 30 going into the season. So we're awfully close to that. And just really, really pleased with how the kids have responded, the coaches have responded, and the direction we're going right now.
I'm a nerd when it comes to tech stuff. So talk to me about the tech you guys need and want.
Well, we've got 2 new iPads.
Okay.
So that way we will have those. We'll do all our recording on our iPads, both our tight and our wide. That way we can upload them instantly. We have just gotten Huddle Sideline. So now we do have iPads up in the box. We're able then to see, what the other team is giving us, the looks they're giving us, what they're doing offensively, what we're doing well, what we're not doing well throughout the course of the game. And to me, those are imperative things. Those are things that you absolutely have to have if you want to be competitive.
So when you talk about uniforms, just for your 7th and 8th grade, that goes a long way.
Yeah, we got great numbers there.
Yeah.
We're well over 30 kids down there just in 2 grades, and we want all those kids to stay. And we want those kids coming up through 5th and 6th grade to see those, those junior high kids out there looking sharp and want to be a part of that. So that kind of falls under the recruiting aspect of just making your program marketable. And giving kids some inspiration, a reason to want to stay and play at East Palestine.
So flip the switch is the motto this year. Talk about that, how that came about.
So I'm really big on conditioning and practicing through a format that is similar to a game style. So, a game situation, a play is going to last anywhere from 7 to 10 seconds. So in between, I tell them to turn it off, flip the switch off, on our way back to the huddle or to the sideline, we reflect, we take a moment, gather ourselves, get the play back to line of scrimmage. But as soon as that ball snaps, you're flipping the switch again. And it's all you got for 7 to 10 more seconds. So that's kind of been the theme. We've approached all of our practice style like that. So we lift like that. We do offense, defense like that. Like I said, it's become kind of our motto, our mantra this year, where when we take the field, we're calm, we're smooth, we're relaxed until it's time to flip the switch.
See, this is the first year I've seen East Palestine really be out there on social media. First program really been out there. There's a little bit of swagger. I dig it. Talk to me about that and kind of what you're trying to accomplish with that social media.
Sure. Well, I got to give all the credit to our offensive line coach, Jim Hall. He's a marketing guy by trade. That's what he does for a living. And he has just done an exceptional job with our social media, our Facebook page. And again, that's just part of integrating technology back into the program, giving the community an opportunity to see what's going on, providing some transparency a little bit. It's a great idea to get your information out quickly. Our fundraisers, we're able to get out there. Our website, we're able to push out through that. All our thank yous for, again, everything this community has done for us in my short time here. We've been able to do that all through our social media. And again, it's creating a little hype and giving kids a reason and making them excited to play East Palestine Bulldog football.
Will that continue out through the season, or is that
That's
something
the goal?
Okay.
That's the goal. We want that to be a year-round thing. That's our hub for communication. Like I said, Jim's done a great job with that, and we do plan to continue that. That's a year-round thing for us.
Are you going to put I don't know, highlights or things like that of featuring kids and things of that nature?
That's the goal.
Okay.
That is the goal. We would like to use that again to highlight players,
Sure.
to get the information out, to anything that we, as a part of a program, want our public to see.
Gotcha.
That's how we are going to get that out to them. And so far, the response has been fantastic. And like I said, Jim gets all the credit in the world. He's done a fantastic job with that.
You talked about the fundraiser donation drive. How is that going for you? And what were your expectations for that going in? And where does it go to?
I am so proud of this community right now. They have just gone above and beyond what I ever anticipated in terms of, monetary funds that have been donated to the program. The Roadhouse donated a steak dinner for seniors and coaches this past weekend. Between individual parents, people that are out of town have been able to donate money through our virtual online page, pledge page. So it's just been fantastic. I've been almost overwhelmed with the amount of support, both just from a financial standpoint, but also just from a standpoint that, that they're behind these kids. And it's so important for these kids to see that, to develop confidence.
You mentioned just under 30 kids this year, obviously 30 being the goal the first time you came in. Just missed it, but it's one of those things where it's never too late to join the Bulldogs.
Absolutely.
From a recruitment standpoint, what was, I don't want to say the challenges, but how did you go about getting those numbers up based on what's in that school already? One
thing that we did, we sent a letter, and I signed almost 200 letters to each kid that is enrolled in the district, and just kind of explain to them our goal, our mission, what we're trying to accomplish, and we'd love to have them out there. So that helps. But the number one thing we can do as recruiting is, as coaches, be consistent with our approach, because word of mouth from these kids is the best thing that we can have. And I think the word of mouth has probably generated more new players than anything else. So that's up to us to maintain that consistency, keep working hard as a coaching staff, and make sure these kids are working hard, but having fun and being treated with respect. And I think if we can do that, they buy in, and they have bought in 100%. And then, again, they tell their friends, hey, you got to come check this out. And that's really been a real key point for us in terms of recruiting this year.
Now, from a coaching standpoint, you and your staff have to be a little bit more patient, because some of these kids probably haven't played football, or it's been a while since they've touched the pigskin.
Yeah, and we are, but we also have expectations. Mm-hmm. You have to have a bar, and we set the bar different for every kid, but for the team, that bar has been set high. And when they achieve that level of success, then you raise the bar again. So we are patient, but we also have talent on this football team. It's not like we have we're talentless. We've got some really great young talent. We've got some really solid upperclassmen who are just eager to win. So it's just a matter of us putting it all together on Friday nights.
How many seniors this year?
We have 6 currently,
okay,
which is a good start for us. Of those 30, a lot of them are sophomores. So our sophomore class is probably our biggest class right now. And there's going to be a lot of sophomores on the field. And fortunately for us, a lot of those sophomores played as freshmen. So it's not like they're stepping on the field for the first time ever as a 10th grader. And that's key for us too. You can't coach experience. And
from your standpoint, I know you're big on leadership on the field. Who are those leaders going to be this year?
Well, we just, picked 3 captains, Eddie Buskirk and Landon Price. Gosh, I'm drawing a blank now, but those 3 captains have really stepped up and done a great job. And even our seniors who aren't captains have done a really great job of stepping up and just being those role models, showing them, it's their last year. They know that their time is limited, and they know that they have an opportunity this year to turn things around, and they want to be a part of that. So,
and that there's expectations for those younger players, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
I mean, in big positions. I mean, you look at Owen Iriachi, he's going to be one of your main contributors on offense and defense, I would imagine. What conversations have taken place with those guys and expectations you've put on them, being that they're just sophomores?
Yeah, well, we just need them to do their job.
Yeah.
Leadership comes with confidence. So the more confident they get, the more success they end up having. Ultimately, the better leaders they'll end up becoming as well. But it's really been top to bottom, 9 through 12. All these kids have just bought in. I've been so impressed with the work ethic, the commitment to the program, and them having a willingness to do anything that we ask them to do has just really been exceptional.
So when you look at it, this is a team now. When people look at history, I know we've talked about turning that page. One game, one victory in the last 3 years. Your expectations for this year, what do they look like? What do you talk to the team about on a daily basis?
Well, these kids got to realize that their future is much bigger than their past, and to be honest, we don't even talk about the past.
Right.
You know, I wasn't here. A lot of these kids weren't here. Some of these coaches weren't here.
Yeah.
So what happened in the past is irrelevant to us. All we know is what we are right now, the direction we're going right now, and that's the trend we want to continue to focus on moving into week 1.
It's easy for coaches to come in, and I'm not saying you, but typically first-year coach will come and say, we just want to be competitive. What do you say?
Well, of course we want to be competitive. You know, no coach or no player or anybody who's involved with this game practices their tail off and puts the amount of time in that they do to lose. So we want to compete. We want to win. Our expectations are realistic, but we also think that realistic is a lot more than what it's been in the past. So for us, you know, we'll take it 1 week at a time. That's all we really can do. So, you know, this week we're focused on Matthews. We scrimmage them this Friday night. And then Saturday morning, we will turn our focus to Malvern, ready for week 1. So as long as we can approach it week to week, well, you know, with one opponent at a time, and our motto has also been, let's just get 1% better every day. And if we can get 1% better every day by the time we kick off with Malvern, it should be a good game. So
from your standpoint, week 1, I know you're focused on Matthews in the scrimmage, but what are some of the things you want to accomplish in the scrimmage to get prepared for? Like, you're looking at idealistically and saying, hey, we have to do this to be ready for week 1.
It's just execution.
Gotcha.
Execution on both sides of the ball. You know, we scrimmaged Waterloo last Saturday, and our kids performed well. They were very competitive. They played hard. They played physical, but there's still mistakes being made. And we don't expect any game to be perfect. You know, these are teenage boys. We're human beings. None of us are perfect. But as long as we can continue to improve on the mistakes from the week prior, and from what I have seen this week, the mistakes that we made, you know, Saturday against Waterloo, we've really emphasized this week, and we want to see that show up on film on Saturday. And then from there, we'll take what was broken then, and we'll try to fix that moving into Malvern. And that's just our philosophy. Again, week to week, 1% better every single day, and fix what you can.
We can certainly appreciate that. Let's step off the field. Let's talk a little bit about, I mean, you haven't had much of a summer to do anything from a family standpoint, but what's one thing that you did this summer to step away and kind of take it all in with your 2 lovely kids and your lovely wife?
We did take a trip to Ocean City.
Okay.
We've got some good friends that we go on vacation with every year here in town. And so the 9 of us went to Ocean City at the end of June. We're outdoorsy people. So, we have Sundays off. So with Sundays off, we get the kayaks out a lot. We like to go float and do a lot of fishing, you know, just soak up the outside. We've done some camping this summer. So I've really tried to, you know, going into this job, before I took this job, I sat down with my family and we kind of discussed how we were going to go about this, how we can ensure that we have balance in both our family life and the professional aspect for both my wife and I. And I'm very proud of my family and the way that we have been able to balance both work and play this summer. We had a lot of fun. We did a lot of things, but we also got a lot done from a professional standpoint as well.
I love it, man. All right. That was week 1, episode 1 of Coach's Corner with Michael Dempster. Again, check out the Bulldogs this year. Sounds like you guys are going to be up and around and being competitive and ultimately being out there, which we've never seen before. So we're excited for that. How can people follow East Palestine Bulldogs on Facebook or other?
You know, it's EP Bulldog Football. Just jump on there with Facebook. And, you know, we're home the next 2 Friday nights, 7:00. So come out and check out the 2022 version of the Bulldogs.
Love it. Coach, thank you so much. We'll see you next week.
Pleasure. Thanks for having me, DJ.
There he was, Coach Michael Dempster of the East Palestine Bulldogs. Exciting stuff, Richie. When you think about it, it's always a little bit more intriguing with a first-year coach because he's got to get that buy-in, number 1. It seems like he has it. The number is at 28. And you know, the middle school numbers are up as well at over 30. So when you think about that in a small school like East Palestine, you always want to have good numbers. And you look at Springfield, for instance, a D7 school. I think the rule is they're only allowed to have 100 boys to be D7. 63 players for Springfield. So that means 63% of those boys are coming out and playing football. They could have 100. They could have all 100 come out and play. For East Palestine, they're D6, so they're a little bit different, a little bit higher. So when you have 28 kids, as a coach, that's a tough pill to swallow. And I know that was a frustration of Tony's for so long when he had it. I mean, you had those good years, the Parker Sherry years with that class, and then it kind of fell off by the wayside, and you had some smaller classes anyway. So it's good to see East Palestine getting back on track. And obviously exciting for them, for this community that we make our home in from a natural standpoint of our business. to getting back on track. So only time will tell. And that was one of the questions why I asked the question, because it's easy to get pumped up on social media right now before it's all set. But in the midst of it, are you still going to be as excited in week 5, week 8, week 10 as you are right now? And I hope that's the case. I hope they stick with it because, again, there's some swagger. There's some swagger going on in East Palestine. And, those other teams see that swagger too. So it's going to be interesting to see. And naturally, you just want good competitive atmosphere. And I think that's what Coach Dempster is looking for. We are going to take a break, Richard. When we come back, one of the most inspirational stories at YSN. We are going to be joined by Noah Ricks, who's going to tell his story. I'm going to let you lead that because you know a little bit more than I do, but I'm just going to sit back and watch this young man because he's been so impressive to watch grow into the role he has now at YSN as one of our lead commentators. All that and more coming up for you right here on your sports network, Power Hour.
It's a new year at Acura of Boardman and Boardman Mitsubishi with huge savings on over 350 fully inspected vehicles. We have cars, trucks, SUVs, minivans, and work vehicles. We don't have it, our team will find it. We aim for 100% credit approval with payments as low as $99 per month. And as always, we'll pay top dollar for your trade. For a great vehicle and a great experience, come see why everyone is stopping by at Acura Boardman and Boardman Mitsubishi.
You're not waiting to see what the world has in store for you. It's more about what you have in store for the world. All you need is the opportunity. All you need are the resources of a large university and the advantages of a personalized academic setting, where you can experience new worlds in the arts and sciences, business, and education, and make them your own. We are where you shape your future. We are Youngstown State University, and proud.
Being able to have success on the football field and the basketball court and just every aspect of, my sports career is now documented. One of the greatest things about high school sports is to be able to talk about it for the rest of your life and to look back on the days with my buddies whenever we had some battles, whether it was with our rival or just another game. And I could go back and look at it and not only myself but my family members, my teammates, and it's something that will last a lifetime. My name is Parker Sherry, and my sports network is your sports network.
It's storm season.
I think we're under the gun for some heavy storms over the next couple of hours.
And Storm Tracker 21 is ready.
This is probably the one we're keeping a closer eye on.
On air.
And locally, we're going to have a lot of eyes on our area.
Online.
All right, let's talk high-risk futurecast and the timing of this weather.
On social media and on our app.
Notice we'll have scattered showers on Thursday.
Stay ready with Storm Tracker 21.
The severe weather threat now through around sunset this evening.
And welcome back into the YSN Power Hour alongside DJ Oakley. I'm Richie Giuliano, and we're going to bring a very special guest coming up right now. It's Noah Ricks who joins us here on the Power Hour. Noah, what's up, my man? How are you doing?
Not much. How are you, Richie?
I'm doing great. I can't wait to talk to you and explain your journey and what you've been through over the last couple of years. Just starting things out, you were a mainstay this summer at Bobsleigh Park. I think we got you over 80-some games. So talk about your experience at Bobsleigh Park and your excitement after your summer baseball season.
Well, it was exciting. I enjoyed the summer baseball aspect of it. Bobsleigh Park, I enjoyed that it was a very historic baseball park that I got to go to, because I basically live here in Howland, so I had to take 30 minutes down 680 and all that. But it's just exciting to see how much work they put into that stadium, how much work the city of Struthers puts into it. So baseball season was a blast, and I got to call some exciting games.
You live in Howland now. You're the voice of the Tigers, but in the past, in your heart, you are a Chalker Wildcat. Growing up in Chalker, doing a lot of broadcasts for the Wildcats. Your brother was one of the best basketball players to come through that program. So now that you're past the Chalker Wildcats and you begin a new journey with the Howland Tigers, you got to call some basketball games and seeing one of the best players in the area. What's your excitement level now for this upcoming football season with the Tigers?
Well, I'm excited for this football season. Hopefully we get some couple wins under our belt. Howland looks like they should be ready to go against Niles. It's a fierce week one rivalry. So always a week one rivalry, always the great way to start off the high school football season. And Howland has a storied tradition in athletics going back. And Howland, I really enjoy it here at Howland, the township, the people, just enjoying the big sporting crowds, big sporting events. But I'm ready to start this new journey on August 18th of next week.
Now, you've been a mainstay with YSN and in the broadcasting department at Youngstown State. Going back to when you were younger and broadcasting games for Chalker and doing your own little broadcasts on your phone, is that where you really developed your love for sports broadcasting and when you kind of knew that you wanted to take this path in your career?
Yeah, actually, when I was in Southington, I was like in 7th grade. I listened to like NCAA football 04 games, like listening to the likes of Brad Nessler, Kirk Herbstreit, Lee Corso, just listening to those guys just hone their craft every day on the NCAA football 04 program. I always enjoyed that they took their time and effort to make it that kind of game, and that's what really got me into sports broadcasting. Now, sports broadcasting, I worked at Chalker. I filmed for the basketball coaches, and I usually did play-by-play into the camera, and it was a fun experience. Got to travel with the team, got to enjoy the sights of the team, enjoy the aspects of the team. So that's how my journey really started to boom.
Now, you had a different journey throughout college. Kind of take us through that a little bit. You started in the sports broadcasting department. Then you decided to move on into the educational aspect of college. And, now you come back and you work at YSN and you're back into the broadcasting world. So kind of take us through your journey and why you decided to move on from one thing to another and then back.
Well, it was a little bit of a detour. I really wanted to go into coaching a little bit. I worked at Southington Chalker for 1 year, 2019. I was a volunteer football assistant, got to coach my brother, who actually is a football player at Lake Erie College up in Paynesville. But that I really got into coaching, but then the pandemic really hit. So we were basically stuck in our houses, really nothing to do. And just watching all the streams, just watching a lot of YouTube videos really got me back into that sports broadcasting hone. And it was really kind of a rekindled passion, if you think about it.
No, it's DJ. So I heard on the street that essentially, there's a little bit more to that story. Maybe you don't want out there, but you and I are cut from the same cloth. Whenever people looked at us and they said, you might not be cut out for broadcasting, so you might want to go do something else. And you took up teaching, and then YSN kind of brought you back full circle, from what I understand, which is awesome. And I appreciate you being able to chase after your dreams and be part of that. I was in the same situation. Someone that is well-versed in broadcasting told me that you're not the kind of guy that they want necessarily in their living room. You're the kind of guy that we want hanging out at the sports bar. What was it for you that really drove you back to broadcasting, whether it's YSN or otherwise?
Well, just basically watching all those YouTube videos, just watching all that sports streams, just rekindling the relationships, people just building relationships with one another through YouTube, through the streams, and YSN kind of similar to that. And I believe YSN does build that kind of relationship with the audience, does try to build that relationship with the parents, with the players, with the coaches. And I think this is a really next step in the right direction.
Where did you build your confidence? Was it just the reps? Was it the games that you did that you were able to build your confidence in the realm? I'm going to use a Ty Bartell word, a realm of broadcasting.
A realm of broadcasting. I just basically just put my head down, do my homework, and hope I can do a good game. Just do my job, and when you do your job, things will go a lot easier. When you just focus on the job at hand, you will have a way better broadcast, in my honest opinion. And I think just letting it be natural, letting it just going with the flow really helps bring that audience.
Dude, you've been lights out for us. You've been lights out for yourself. You've done a wonderful job of climbing the ranks as one of our guys that we can go to for big games. What's your favorite kind of broadcasting from a sports standpoint?
Honestly, I like to go with basketball because basketball is very fast-paced.
Mm-hmm.
I can talk a lot about the players, and can talk a lot about what's going on the court. And just watching that constant motion on the floor really helps me talk, really helps me bring my voice.
What's one of the things you're looking forward to this year specifically to be broadcasting on YSN? And now I understand that you're going to be joining us hopefully on Fridays for the Power Hour Super Show. So that'll be exciting. What other things do you have up your sleeve?
I have up my sleeve for YSN. I hope to call some big games. I did get to call a district final last year for the Howland boys basketball team, but hopefully I can hone my craft and maybe call some more basketball games, call some maybe some basketball games on the street, youth basketball, all that, and just honing my craft here and there, and we can go from there, and it's going to be a fun ride.
No, I got to take you back. When you first started, one thing that I was really impressed with was your work ethic and your preparation before games. I know when we were talking at Youngstown State in the Dawn, you had me print you out a couple of things, and it was pages and pages of notes of facts that you had from not just that year, but previous years, like 2016 district titles. Where did you learn that skill of preparation? And, where do you find some of these facts of going back, not even last year, but 5 years in the past?
I go to ohsaa.org, just look at the database of the past tournaments. So, and also I love to enjoy the history fact of it. I tend to be a little bit of a history buff, just going back into history, just learning about what people did back then to help them achieve great success. And I think that really helped me hone my craft in going forward in the current year, 2022. But it's interesting to learn facts from the 1970s, the 1980s, the early 2000s, and past tournament results, past tournament successes. And I think learning from history really helps build that brand here at YSN.
We appreciate you, certainly, man. It has been an honor and a pleasure to watch you grow into who you've become today. Richie told me the story. I was so excited to hear it. I had no idea that you thought about another major, and jumped into teaching, which I can appreciate, man. There's nobody that appreciates teachers more than I do. I married one. And then naturally you made what I think is your calling card is your broadcasting. You do such a good job, like Richie said, of preparing and having a good head on your shoulders going into the game, and you react very, very well to the game. You do a great job. More so proud of you, man. Thank you so much for your time, not only today, but for those that have been not able to go to the games and watch it on YSN and hear your voice and your passion that comes out. Thank you so much for all of that.
Thanks for having me, guys, and I'll see you Friday.
You got it, man. Looking forward to it. There he goes. Noah Ricks, legend, Rich. Yeah. And that's a guy that, when you start out with YSN, you don't necessarily get all the things at once. We want to start you off slow. We do not want to give you too much to handle that it kind of, there's a lot of stuff that can happen. Noah Ricks is a perfect example of work hard. Oh, yeah. And the opportunities will be given to you tenfold.
I mean, he stepped up big time this summer. Over 80 games at Bobstein Park. I don't think there's too many other people that would do that. And, I was able to sit in the booth one night with Noah and, watch him and do his work. And every single at bat, every single hit, means the world to him. And he really does a good job of expressing the game the right way. And I think the kids are lucky to have him on the broadcast when they go back and they can download that. And, it could be a double in the right center, and he makes it sound like it's a Kurt Gibson home run to win the World Series. So that's one thing that stands out about Noah with me. And, his preparation, like I said, the one day we were sitting at YSU my senior year, and, he asked me, can you print me something out? Because I was familiar with the printer up there. I'm like, yeah, I'll print you it out. He's like, I got a game tonight. I'm like, okay. It was 3 sheets. It was Campfield against Howland basketball, and he had 3 sheets of all of his notes, all of the stats. Like he said, he's a big history buff. So it was past results of Howland winning so many district championships, the last time that Canfield won a district championship, the last meeting between these two teams, how it went, who scored how many points. It was just awesome to see, because as a preparation nerd myself, I was appreciative of somebody else who put in that much effort.
Well, you are a nerd. That's 100% factual. No, but you guys, we've talked about it before. You and I are cut from a different club. We both absolutely love broadcasting. We love doing what we do at YSN, but you are the preparation guy, and I'm more of the inform, entertain, and make somebody laugh guy. And there's nothing wrong. Yeah, why are we still doing this? There's nothing wrong with that. It's one of those things where, there's an appreciation for both. I wish I could do what I can't. Functionally, cannot. Like, if I started looking up the stats that you look up, and you do it, people don't realize you do this for hours and hours and hours and hours, and you become infatuated with it. I think my wife would probably have papers for me on the table that would say, get out. Like, I now own your house. Did you see who chimed in?
I did, but we couldn't put it up because it would have blocked Noah.
Yeah, look at it. Radar brings like chapter 1 of and this is chapter 20, by the way. Hey, DJ and Richie and Noah. This is you threw Noah in there. I like it. This is Radar. Hard to imagine next week we'll begin the high school football. And starting next week, Scotty Mincher, Kristen Seidler, and Vike Jim Algren and I will make the weekly high school football game predictions. The who, the what, the where, and the why. I wonder how many games. I don't know what he's talking about right now. I wonder how many games will Noah Ricks call coming season starting next week. Omaha. Well, if
Noah's got a lot coming up.
Noah is the official voice, I think, of the Howland Tigers.
Yeah, he's doing Howland.
So, well, he's guaranteed 10, but Howland, Howland could be a very good team this year from a standpoint, on the gridiron. Now, pop this up for one more second. I know Scotty, I know Kristen, and I know Radar. I don't know who Viking Jim is.
I don't either.
No clue. So if this dude shows up at YSN, I've got no clue who he is.
Let him in.
Come on in. Anybody with a precursor named Viking, you're in. Like you're in. I think Radar though does his own thing on Golden String. Like they have their own sports show. Now Radar is going to be here on Friday nights. Scotty's going to be here on Friday nights. I don't know that Kristen is, but she's welcome. We just hired her as one of our, one of our reporters. She's going to do a lot for us with, like, Scotty used to do 60 seconds. So she's going to take that over for Scotty. And she's also going to she already does go down and ask questions during the YSU football games after. So she's going to do that. Now she's got some media credentials. The coolest thing, Richie, was her mom told me it was a dream come true to be hired in here at YSN.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's almost not real to me. You know what I mean? Because listen, I still get up every day and I'm like, okay, are we still in business? Like, are we going to, like, financially, I know we're okay, but it's one of those things, like, I still don't believe how big it's grown over the last 6 football seasons, 5 years.
I mean, you wait till tomorrow too.
Yeah.
We're not going to say anything, but
yeah, tomorrow
we kind of alluded to it.
And then it's going to do it again the next week. And then we've let's put it this way. The administrators are back and now they're signing documents. Can we put it that way?
That's
I mean, without saying it, can we say it? Because you don't want to say anything until the ink's dry.
Yep.
And then naturally we need our hype videos because people like our hype videos. You are making some hype videos for Tuesday's baseball game for the Scrappers.
Yep.
And a big night, I think, can be had. And again, if you haven't booked your tickets already, get out, pick up the phone, order. I think you can order them online too. I think you need to be able to. Here we go. He doesn't let me finish my thought. Vike Jim works at Golden String, used to work at iHeartMedia. Okay.
There you go.
Drop some knowledge.
So it's not Viking.
Vike Jim?
Or is it Vike Jim?
I don't know. Oh, maybe it's Vike Jim. He said Vike Jim twice.
Okay. So it's not Viking.
Vike Jim. I think I remember somebody say something about Viking Jim that worked at iHeart. So I don't know. Interesting. Hey, listen, they're all welcome here. This is the home of high school football on Friday nights.
Crock pot of Youngstown.
That's it, baby. Bring it all in. And we're crock pot and ready. We're crocked and ready to roll. But as far as it's concerned, what was I talking? Oh, the game.
We were talking about
on Tuesday. So Tuesday, the Mahoning Valley Scrappers have this game for all of high school sports. They want you to come and attend. We want you to come and attend because it's sponsored by YSN. You cut some videos that's going to be, I don't want to say premiering, but they're going to feature on the Jumbotron out in right center field. Really cool stuff. really cool stuff. And I think the funnest part for me was listening to you sit back and appreciate the announcers during it. So we know that there's Ty and Trey are on one.
Yeah, let me go back. We got Romo and Jamie Thompson on
Okay.
the other. I already showed Romo because he'll probably be in the booth with me that night.
He'll go nutty.
We got the Boardman Spartans against Fitch, but Ty's not on the call, so I made sure we didn't.
Okay.
And then we got Hartwig doing a
volleyball
regional final game, I believe, for
game,
Crestview.
Right? Yeah.
Against Independence. And then one and only over here.
Oh, geez.
You are doing Beaver Local
and East Liverpool.
Liverpool.
That was
you and Siggy.
Oh man, the longest rally I've ever seen in my life.
All right, I have it on tape. So we actually cut into it. So this was halfway through. So it was over 2 minutes and 30 seconds of one rally point.
It was unbelievable. When we had a conversation going during the rally, which typically in volleyball you don't have. It's just who hit the point,
pump, set, kill.
Yeah, I mean, we had a conversation, and I remember myself saying, "This is the longest rally I've ever seen in my life."
Yeah.
But that's a great one. So short term, long term, you need to go out and get some tickets. If you wear your jersey of your school or school spirit, whatever, I think it's a $5 ticket.
I think you get a free general admission ticket.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay. So get out there and get it taken care of. Fill up the bleachers. Listen, we know it's a busy week for everybody next week. There's no doubt it's a busy week, but send summer sailing the right way. Get to the Scrappers game, get out to Beastwood and fill up the bleachers. And I know they're going to have some promotions during the, between innings and having, this team against this team, this school against this school. So get out there, take advantage of it. There's lots of great promotions that you can have for Tuesday. So we appreciate everybody. We appreciate the Scrappers, Heather and Jordan, doing what they do so very, very, very well. And, Scrapper season wrapping up before you know it. You, my friend.
Yeah, with 9 left at home.
Unbelievable. And you've done yeoman's work out there because there's some nights that it's not easy.
They're 3 hours and 50 minutes. Yeah.
Oof. And you get there. I mean, Richie gets there at the break of dawn. I mean, he's there and ready to go before they're ready to open up. So big time opportunity Tuesday. And then throughout that homestand that week and that next week. So make sure you're supporting the Scrappers. And of course, Thursday night, man, it all kicks off.
Thursday night.
And people don't realize that Primetime's back. Primetime is back.
I think that's going to be one of the best games, not just of the first half of the season, but of the year.
I think so too. Primetime's we're going to be live from South Range on Thursday night, live from the game. Prior to that'll all kick off at 5:00. And then of course at 7:00, we've got kickoff for Springfield and South Range. And a bunch of other games too. I mean, we've got them all covered. Yeah, go.
So Thursday to kick it off, not only do we have primetime in Springfield at South Range, which you're going to be on the call of, but you also got Brookfield at Ursuline at Stambaugh Stadium. And, I know Radar's been chiming in about Brookfield and how good their offensive line is going to be. And we'll see how Ursuline can, kind of break through that with their running attack. But I think that's going to be a great game. You got the Athletic Cowboys of Cheney coming to Poland country and taking on the Bulldogs. You got Crestview at Salem. Nice little rivalry there. Jackson Milne at Letonia. And we already talked to Noah Ricks about this, but him and Ian O'Brien.
Oh, boy.
So 2 voices clashing in the box.
Oh,
it's going to be
boy.
Niles at Howland. So in Rick's territory there.
Ian and Noah get into a fight. Who wins?
I don't know. I mean, Ian O'Brien's been lifting and Noah's backstage. I think
Noah's got the height.
He's shaking his head. He's saying, I got this.
Noah's got the height. He can do hammer fists like straight down on OB.
And that's his territory too. So if somebody pushes Noah, you're getting a whole.
If you see OB just fall out the window, like Noah just picks him up by his feet and just chucks him, OB will go for the ride. There's no doubt in my mind. I do like when you have 2 teams and both announcers. Like there's something to that mix that it's like right Twix, left Twix, and it's like, okay, which one do you like more? And neither one lets the other one get to a stage of like bragging rights.
Exactly. You can't be a homer when you've got the other guy's play-by-play guy right next to you in the booth. It's always great.
The other one is when you've got, like, let's say it's a lopsided game, and the one guy just shuts down.
Oh, yeah.
It's just done. He's like, you know what? This is not
I've had
going my
enough.
way.
When it's a 24-7 game, and
I'm tapping out.
the home play-by-play guys just going in, touchdown call after touchdown call. The other guy's just like, I've seen it.
Get me out of here. Mister, get me out of here. It's going to be a good night. Friday, who do we have? You have that
we've
episode?
got a million games Friday. I mean, I could run through them
Go for
rather
it.
quickly.
Yeah.
Beaver Local and Indian Valley face off at Indian Valley. So Mackenzie, who's been doing it since the 8th grade, he'll be back on the call for his fifth season.
Yeah.
Donnie Riccatelli's got Boardman versus Cardinal Mooney. That game is being played at Mineral Ridge.
Okay.
At the turf field. Canfield at West Branch. Michael and Chuck got you for that one. Cardinal at Garfield is on Boxcast, but we'll still have that one linked up. Columbiana at Lowville. We got Joe and Eric. East at Hubbard is David Williams and Jamie Thompson, who's back on the color duties for Hubbard. His former play-by-play guy kind of moves on over to Ursuline with Steve Leslie.
Graduation.
So, I know Romo wanted to stay there, and
we
got that opportunity to Ursuline, so it's kind of hard to deny that.
It was a hard
East
push.
Liverpool at Minerva. Sigler maybe on the call on that.
We're waiting on
we'll see. Gerard at Streetsboro. Streetsboro has got a beautiful facility there. That's where we called the regional semi 2 years ago for Canfield. Grand Valley at Jefferson. Pat's on that call. Henderson International from Las Vegas at Austintown Fitch. Ty's got that. Brian's got LeBray at Lakeview. Liberty is playing at Western Reserve. That's Aaron. Malvern at East Palestine is Tim, of course.
Yep.
You've got McDonald at Southern. Mineral Ridge at Pymatuning Valley is Jake Silak. Monroe Central at Edison. I'm not sure who Monroe Central
Monroe
is.
Central, yeah. They're I'm trying to remember. They're another one of those teams that's a little bit far away.
Okay. Kyle and myself will have Newton Falls at Asheville at St. John. St. Thomas Aquinas at Struthers is Ian O'Brien. So he's doing a little double duty back-to-back days, Thursday, Friday. Steubenville at Louisville. Valley Christian at Campbell is Caberna and Morrison, the formal sports podcast boys. Or JFK at Champion is Larry and Alec. And then Wyndham is at Lisbon. That is Rick Daly.
I want to say
that's your slate.
We had 37 total games, and I think that number has gone up since the last time I counted.
Yeah.
Interestingly enough, the 440 and Gold Boys will be joining Pat in Jefferson, I think.
Okay.
For that broadcast. So that'll be the first ever official joining of YSN and the 440 and Gold. But we will also have the debut of the 440 and Gold Boys podcast on Thursday when it's not on the schedule yet, but I got to get with them on Friday and make sure we have their schedule. But I'm excited. Is there one particular game, Richie, that you're looking at that is going to be the underrated game of the week in week one?
Underrated. Okay. Let me look through the schedule.
Kristen says that's awesome, by the way.
Let's see. Underrated. Honest, I'm going to go Cheney at Poland for underrated game.
That's
because
not a bad
Cheney's
call.
got their starting quarterback coming back.
That's not. Yeah, Jason Hewlett
is healthy.
Yeah.
With him on the field, and we saw this 2 years ago when Gary Nettle and myself did the game. They are a completely different team with him on the field than without him. Their offense is smooth as a hot knife through butter with him on the field. But like when he's not on the field, they had a freshman quarterback that came in last year. It was kind of dysfunctional. But with him coming back, I think that's going to be a big challenge for Poland because not only can he sling the ball, but he could run it as well. He's a dual threat type of guy. He's almost like a Braxton Miller going back to the Ohio State days. And he could hurt you in both ways. So that's my underrated game of the week. Of course, you got Brookfield, Ursuline. You got Springfield at South Range, and then the Henderson team from Las Vegas coming to Fitch. I think everybody's eyes are on those three games for next week, but I think that's and Canfield at West Branch. But those four, outside of those four, I think Cheney and Poland is being overlooked a little bit. I think that's going to be a really, really good game.
I'm trying to find. There it is. Okay, so Jason's going to Cincinnati.
Okay.
I swore up and down that it was Kentucky, but he is going to be a Bearcat. just to tell you how good this young man is. Like, that is a Luke Fickell-led program that could and should gain national attention. And I firmly believe, and again, I knew this, I forgot this, and now I remembered it and recognized it off of his Twitter page. This young man could be the future of the Bearcat program.
Oh,
and we're
star.
You get a chance to watch it right here in Youngstown, right here on YSN. Why would you want to miss that? Why would you want to miss
Look at his offers that he had. Cincinnati, Boston College, Kentucky, North Carolina State, Toledo. He's a 3-star according to 247 Sports, which pretty much evaluates all of the commits across the country.
I mean, that's pretty good.
And, it was unfortunate not to have him on the field last year, and he got hurt during basketball season as well.
But you can bet your tail we're going to make up for it this year.
His senior season coming back at Poland to start the year, I think is going to be a great game. I don't know how Poland's going to plan to stop him on the outside. And, once he gets into that rhythm with those quick dump passes, it's hard to stop their offense as well with their speedy receivers. And I'm telling you, with him out there, it's a completely different ballgame.
And I think Seth Antrim is going to be like playing with all kinds of toys in the toy box because he's got some great athletes out there. In his first year at the helm of Cheney as Coach Emil now down south. And I still follow him on Facebook and see his timeline. He's just as excitable as ever in his new gig. So, should we put the Omaha? Omaha! It's time for the Joe Dickey Electric. What's your spark? Presented by Joe Dickey Electric. Anything commercial, residential, anything electrical. Bzzt. You need to head on over to their campus in North Lima, or just head on over to their site on the web at dickeyelectric.com. Roll it. Get zapped, Richie. What's your spark?
Boot camp coming up.
The Academy.
The Academy coming up on Friday and Saturday. So I'm looking forward to that. Looking to see this place packed. Hopefully, we can't fit everybody in the back studio because there's so many people. Get some picks and, let's go. I mean, it's when this time rolls around, it's time to buckle up and get ready because it's about to go down.
Big thank you to Charles Marsh as well, as he's going to take the pictures, high quality, high profile pictures of our guys like never before. What are we going to use them for? Well, you're just going to have to wait and find out because we're excited to debut those because those are professional. And again, if you are out there and you're still scratching your head about where's my kid, they're an athlete or not, and where are they going to get their senior pictures taken, you need to check out Charles Marsh's stuff. I mean, that's Mahoning Valley Sports. For those of you not privy to it, we've been partnered with them for 3 years now since COVID, and they've done wonderful things for our student athletes in our area. Partnered with us, and we couldn't be happier with it. So, looking forward to seeing Charles and his team out there. Looking forward to our team. Your first academy as a quote unquote leader. I mean, you nervous? I know you're talking a little bit.
I guess, yeah. I guess I gotta say something, but yeah.
Quinn's done a great job of making sure that he doesn't have to say a word,
and he doesn't know what anybody else is saying. He's like, I showed you that 2 weeks ago. I'm like,
I've never seen a slide.
Never. I don't even know what my topic is.
No,
but now I do.
So that'll be fun. Again, if you haven't reached out to us and you want to be part of what we're doing here with the student athletes, with our programming, from a content standpoint, producer standpoint, whether you want to announce or not, we'll find something for you. If you just want to be part of the team and want to be engaged in local high school sports and amateur sports, reach out. It's real easy. It's info at ysnlive.com. You don't have to know what you want to do. We will talk about it. We'll get you in here. You can have a slice of pizza or two. Have a pop, whether it's adult or regular, and then we can talk about what you want to do and why you want to do it here on your sports network. Mine, I got to go with this. It's just my wife, and I try to give her as much room here as I can and not cross over too much. I'm so proud of her. I'm so proud of her for everything that she's been through. It's been an adverse month for her. Lost a job. Stayed home she's a stay-at-home mom anyway, but what she's been able to do. And then she just received job. It was the most incredible thing I've ever seen. Just like people throwing job offers at her like Frisbees. And she's just like catching them however she wants. And now she starts again on the 29th with her new career. I'm excited for her. We're blessed beyond measure. And I certainly blessed beyond measure because I have her. So want to give her, especially before this season starts, because buddy, she saw the first week and she's like, oh my, like
You're
Thursday. Yeah, I'll see you. I'll see you in the winter. Thursday night, I got prime time in a game. Yeah. Friday night, I've got a game. And then we've got audible call back here. Saturday, I'm doing 3 volleyball games back to back to back. And she's like, well, I guess I'll see you on Sunday. But she's the one that's maintaining the house. She's the one that's maintaining everything back home, making sure the kids are, fed and have a roof over their head, all that stuff. So I want to take this opportunity because I'm sure it'll be tough to do during the season to pay homage to my lovely, beautiful, wonderful wife, Sarah Yoakley. So thank you, Sarah, for everything. You deserve it without a shadow of a doubt. So that is going to do it for our show. Richie, thanks for always being here and bringing it. And thanks to Noah Ricks. Thanks to Michael Dempster, the new head coach at East Palestine, for their stuff. We'll have the content from this show on the web here this evening on ysnlive.com. In case you missed anything, you don't have to miss anything ever again at ysnlive.com. For Richie, I'm DJ. That's going to do it. We'll see you next time on the YSN Power Hour. YSN thanks you for watching this